Welcome back everyone to the series where we'll be listening to the summary of the light novel Classroom of the Elite. This time, instead of summarizing the whole book, I'll be making a video on each chapter. This is chapter 1 and let's get started. After Class C won overwhelmingly in the special test held on the cruise, all the students returns to their school to finally enjoy the rest of the summer vacation. In his room, Ayanokoji gives a thought to how he spent all his summer vacations without calling anyone, as he is already satisfied with his freedom. After transferring 1 lakh points to Kensudo, Sudo invites Ayanokoji to go to a fortune teller in Kiyaki Mall. Before discussing further, Ayanokoji asks Sudo about a certain task that needed to be done. After confirming that it is finished, they continue their discussion. I know all this seems a little confusing to you all, but don't worry, everything will be cleared as soon as you move further into the story. Sudo then asks Ayanokoji to also invite Shizune along so that the three of them could go together. Ayanokoji finally understands why Sudo invited him in the first place. After being slightly disappointed, Ayanokoji calls Shizune to invite her but gets rejected. As he told Sudo about this, Sudo also cancels the plan. Being a slight curious, Ayanokoji then decides to go alone to the fortune teller where he finds only a couple could go inside, and so he cannot go alone and decides to leave. While leaving, he notices Mio Ibuki where she asks him about Horikita. As they talk further, Ayanokoji finds out about Ibuki's fondness for the fortune teller and wonders why she isn't able to invite a classmate for this. He then realizes that Ibuki has an inability to socialize with others. Both then decides to leave, and after arriving to his room, Ayanokoji further looks into the fortune telling methods after listening to Ibuki. Ayanokoji and Ibuki meets again the next day coincidentally at the same place. After then, they decides to enter together to get their fortune told. After waiting for a while, they finally get their chance. As Ibuki receiving a generic answer, Ayanokoji is told to have a rough childhood with misfortune and that he must decide what to do with his life from now on. As the session ends, they are told to go back straight without taking detours. But while heading back, they decide to take a detour to different elevator as the earlier one was crowded. They now gets curious about the things said by the fortune teller and gets into the elevator. The elevator they take proceeds to come to a halt and they get stuck inside without any way to exit. Ayanokoji just manages to call a certain person for help before the battery of his phone dies. The air conditioning also stops working and with time both starts to struggle a little. After a long period of time, both were saved by Kohei Katsuragi of Class A who approaches them with the opening of the elevator. Ayanokoji expresses his gratitude while Katsuragi claims that it is just a return favor after being helped by him and Sudo. This concludes the end of chapter 1, so take care everyone and I'll see you next time.